Is our world an illusion? The simulation hypothesis is a mind bending idea that suggests that everything we experience, our reality, the people we meet, the stars in the sky, might not be real in the way we think. Instead, it could all be a part of an incredibly advanced computer simulation created by some higher intelligence or future beings. Just imagine that you are playing a video game where the characters, the world, and even the story are all controlled by your actions. Now imagine a future civilization which is so advanced that they can simulate entire worlds with beings who don't know they are in a simulation. According to this hypothesis, we might be those characters living in a simulated universe with no idea that everything around us is just programmed data running on some super powerful computer. The idea is inspired by advances in technology. In the future, humans might create simulations so realistic that the beings inside them would experience life just as we do. Some thinkers, like philosopher Nick Bostrom, argue that if future civilizations can create these simulations, it is very likely that we could be living in one. It's a very interesting thought, but it raises big questions. If we are in a simulation, who is running it? And if we ever figure it out, what would that mean for our lives and our understanding of what is real? The simulation hypothesis might sound like science fiction, but it challenges everything we know about reality itself. This idea was popularized by Nick Bostrom, a philosopher at Oxford University, who proposed what is known as the simulation argument. Bostrom's argument is built on a basic ideas. In the future, technology will likely improve to the point where it's possible to create extremely realistic simulations of entire worlds, so much so that the simulated beings like us would not be able to tell the difference between the simulated world and the real one. In these simulations, beings would have thoughts, feelings, and experiences just like we do. These future civilizations might want to create simulations of their ancestors, for example, us, to understand their history or for entertainment, research, or some other reason. If these civilizations can create a large number of such simulations, they might end up running many simulations at once, far more than the actual, real worlds that exist. If there are many simulations and only one real universe, then it's statistically more likely that we are living in one of these simulations rather than the real universe. Bostrom argues that at least one of the following is true. Either civilizations never reach a point where they can run realistic simulations, or advanced civilizations intentionally avoid creating simulations, or we are almost certainly living in a simulation. There are many ideas that support this theory. The idea of creating lifelike simulations is not too far fetched. Virtual reality and artificial intelligence are progressing rapidly, and some experts believe it could be possible to create a fully immersive digital world where entities inside the simulation like us don't realize that they are a part of it. Imagine you were to create a video game where the characters could think and feel for themselves. Those characters, if they reached a certain level of awareness, might start to question whether their world was real. So, if we were in a simulation, the beings inside it could also create their own simulations, and this could lead to a never ending cascade of simulations within simulations. If we are in a simulation, how could we ever find out? Some suggest that there could be glitches in the system, like inconsistencies in the laws of physics or weird abnormalities that might hint at the simulation. But detecting these glitches is tricky because the simulation might be so sophisticated that it can adjust to prevent us from realizing it. What if we are created as a part of a simulation for entertainment or experimentation? This raises interesting moral and ethical questions about the rights of simulated beings. If we are conscious, do we have the same moral worth as real beings? The simulation hypothesis also raises deep philosophical questions about the nature of reality. If our world is just a simulation, does that mean everything we experience is fake? Or is our experience still meaningful, even if it's not real in the traditional sense? Some people use this theory to explore the limits of human perception, knowledge, and the concept of reality itself. It challenges our understanding of existence, asking What does it mean to be real? And if everything we experience is simulated, does that make it any less valid? Thank you so much for listening.